Good evening. My name is Ivan Eliff, and I'm a 2TU student in communications. Let me first apologize for two things. Number one, I've been fighting a cold for the last week and a half, and unfortunately this is the waking hour and I have to get this done. I also wasn't able to acquire any extra people to come and be an audience for me due to me being sick. So with that being said, I will do my best to get this taken care of. My speech is about making one of my favorite recipes. It is a it's a spinach dip. Spinach dip is very simple and just about anybody can make it with some basic ingredients. First of all, I have 1 can of finely chopped water chestnuts. I got 2 10-ounce packages of chopped and cooked spinach. I have 1 packet of cream cheese. That's actually a secret ingredient most people don't put into their spinach dip. Also, I have some mayonnaise. It's not the greatest for you, but it makes it taste really great. And then lastly, I have sour cream. We will top it off with condensed mixed Knorr vegetable soup mix. Most people use only 1 package. However, I use 2 just because I like to spice it up a little bit. So let's get started. First and foremost, we'll add the cream cheese to the mixing bowl. And make sure that, before you do this, it's usually a good idea to heat it up a little bit so it'll be soft and pliable. Secondly, we're going to finish off this canister of mayonnaise. Usually the recipe calls for about 1 cup of mayonnaise, but it never seems to be enough. You actually can add mayonnaise and cream cheese to taste. So, being that I'm making a double order, I'm putting about 1.5 to 2 cups of mayonnaise in there. I'll follow that with about half of my water chestnuts. And again, this was 1 small can. I think it's 10 ounces of water chestnuts. Then we can add the sour cream. This is roughly 16 ounces left of sour cream in here. And being that I'm making a double order, I may need to have 2 of these, so I got extras. Again, this is a very simple party dish, great for the holidays. Most people can't get enough of this stuff. Okay, we need to add about half the spinach. It gives it a great color, and it's also the main ingredient of spinach dip. So, it's also great to have a great wooden spoon because they're very stiff and powerful, and it's easy to get down into the mixture. Just like so, and you just continually mix it until you feel it is mixed completely. You want to make sure everything is evenly mixed and distributed throughout the dish. Like I said, it gets kind of soupy at first, but once we get ready to prepare it the rest of the way, we'll put it in the fridge to solid it up a little bit. Now again, I'm going to add the other half of my ingredients. This right here is the water chestnuts again. I'm going to add the rest of the spinach. And once again, it gives it a really good full flavor. It's not the greatest diet food, but it's definitely a down-home, wonderful dish. Put the rest of my sour cream in here. If you notice, I haven't added the soup mix to it just yet. It's hardest to mix all this stuff together prior to the soup mix, so it's actually best if you wait to do that to the very end. And once again, I'm mixing everything back in there as evenly as possible. And thank God I have a wooden spoon to mix it, because it starts to thicken as you stir it. Unfortunately, it gets everywhere, so you got to taste it. Now we're going to add the vegetable soup mix. We're going to add one packet at a time, just so it's evenly distributed throughout the whole dip. This actually gives the dip its actual spicy flavor. It's got just the right amount of salts and extra vegetables that go into it. Kind of gives the dip a minor kick. Being that I put one in there, I'm going to taste it real quick just to make sure that it's ready. You can actually use just a little bit more sour cream. Let me get some of that real quick. It's always good to have extra supplies on just in case. Mix that all right up in there. See how it's got a very beautiful green texture. It's real appealing to people at get-togethers and parties, and it's definitely a wonderful finger food. Now most people would take this dish and pour it into, say, a sourdough that's loaf that's been hollowed out. I personally don't like to do that just because the liquid that is in the dip will actually absorb into the bread, and it kind of makes it a little soggy. So to avoid that, I always get a really high quality bread and I'll slice it up in little pieces and put it on a serving tray so that everybody that tries it will like it and have the opportunity to taste it from their leisure. One more time, I'm going to taste this to make sure everything's good. Of course, I'm going to grab a second spoon just because I don't want to give anybody a cold. And voila! What we do now is we take the spinach dip and we place it in the fridge for roughly 2 hours. The mixture will actually bond together when it's chilled, and then again, once you're done, that's the end of your meal. Let me go ahead and put that in the fridge.